Greetings everyone, Melderon here. Welcome to the Classic WoW Inventory Guide. And what we'll be covering here today are bags, quivers, ammo pouches, anything that can be equipped in a inventory slot in Classic WoW. We're going to cover them all, how to get them, which ones to avoid, which ones you should really try to get. Now this presentation is a bear. It's about 97 or 98 slides. So please use the timestamps below if you want to navigate the guide at your own pace. And if you don't want to hear me talk at all, there's also a link to the slides themselves in the description if you just want to read them on your own. For those of you that want to stick around for the long haul, I'd go get something to eat, maybe something to drink, because it's going to be a long one. Well, let's get started. So when someone says bags, what do we really mean? And a bag is all-inclusively anything that can be equipped in an inventory slot. So you have your backpack, and then you have 4 additional inventory slots on your character. Now we could be talking about regular bags, and these are just bags that can hold anything except keys. Keys are on their own thing, they're on the key ring, which actually increases up to 32 slots if you didn't know. So these regular bags are things that can hold any type of inventory item, anything at all, and the largest size in-game is 18 slots. We also can equip quivers and ammo pouches in a bag slot, and these only hold ammunition. Now, surprisingly, any class can actually equip a quiver and not just hunters, but it's really only going to benefit hunters since they're going to be doing so much ranged damage with a bow or a gun. And the largest slot is also 18. You might think to yourself, well, why would I ever get a ammo pouch if the maximum size is just as big as a bag could be? Well, the big benefit with quivers and ammo pouches is that it increases your ranged attack speed with a bow or a gun by X percentage. This is why hunters always want to have a quiver or ammo pouch with them, depending on what kind of weapon they're using. Now, quivers can only hold arrows, and ammo pouches can only hold shot or bullets. There's also soul bags. The largest one in game is 28 slots, and this is something that warlocks can use to store their soul shards. So they're going to be using drain soul over and over again to get these soul shards, and many of the abilities in the warlock's toolkit require consuming soul shards. It's advantageous to sacrifice one of your bag slots for a soul bag, considering how many soul shards you're going to be carrying around with you. We can say the same for herbalists. There's many different types of herbs in the game, and that variety in herbs really makes it nice to have a bag that can hold only herbs that's larger than your average normal bag. And the largest herb bag in the game is 24 slots. Then we're the same for enchanting. There's also many different types of enchanting reagents that can be obtained via disenchanting. The largest enchanting bag is 24 slots, and it only holds enchanting reagents. Dusts, shards, and rods, or enchanting rods as well. So let's now go over how to actually acquire your bags. There are 7 different ways you can acquire bags. The first is through world drop loot. This means that the bag is on the drop table or the loot table of many different mobs, usually within a level range of mobs. The second is boss or rare loot, and this only drops off of one NPC, usually a boss or a rare spawn, or very few NPCs, like 2 or 3. And this is a rare drop, usually has very low drop chances, even maybe lower than world drop loot, which also has a low drop chance. Third are from quests. This is a guaranteed bag you can get through a quest. It may be the only reward or one of the rewards, so you may have to choose this as the reward if you want it. So these bags are only obtainable via a quest. Next is crafted bags, and these bags are usually trained by a tailor or perhaps even a leather worker to make and to sell. So these bags are usually not bind on pickup because the crafter will want to sell them. And they can be either trained from the trainer directly or be obtained via a pattern, which could be a drop, a world drop, or a rare drop. Next, we have world events like the Dark Moon Fair, and these are only available at certain times of the year. The 6th is via reputation rewards, so you may need to get certain reputation to even purchase the pattern or the bag itself. And finally, you can purchase it from a bag vendor. This is a way to get a bag that I do not recommend. Don't spend money on a bag vendor. They're going to be way higher than someone selling them on the AH or selling them to you in the guild. So really avoid purchasing bags from a bag vendor unless you're stuck. Next, let's go over the bag rules. There are 4 different types of bags really in the game. There are non-unique and non-soulbound bags. This means you can equip more than one of them or have more than one of them in your inventory, and you can resell, trade, or mail it to another character or to your own character or to an alt, doesn't matter. There are unique and non-soulbound, which means you can only have one in your inventory, but you can still resell it, trade it, or mail it. Third is non-unique and soulbound. You can equip more than one, but you can't resell it, trade it, or mail it unless it's bind on equip. And fourth and finally, there's unique and soulbound. You can only equip one and you can't get rid of it unless it's bind on equip. There are bind on pickup bags and bind on equip bags, so keep that in mind. There are bags that represent each of these 4 types available in Classic WoW. Quick little things about the profession and class bags, so the warlock, herb, and enchanting bags. Those are all soulbound, either bind on equip or bind on pickup, so there's no non-soulbound class and profession bags. There is BOE ones though. Finally, with quivers and ammo pouches, you can only have one ammo pouch or quiver equipped at one time. Even though they may be non-unique, you can't equip 2 quivers, so you can't can't stack that range attack power bonus, so don't think about doing that. Also, on a side, there are some people that talk about equipping a quiver in a wanding class that'll increase your wand speed. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with that, and we don't know if that's just private server error or if that actually did occur in Vanilla WoW at some point and then was fixed. I don't think it's going to work in Classic, but if you want to give it a shot, sure, go ahead. Something also to remember is that bags, except quivers and ammo pouches, have no level requirements. So you can essentially equip a bag at level 1. It doesn't matter what bag. It could be a Nixia's bag. But the problem is you can't get in the raid to get the bag, right? There are no level requirements for bags themselves, but the quests, mobs, dungeons, raids, and reputations do have level requirements to them. So just keep that in mind. But it's also really nice to know that you can equip a Traveler's Backpack at level 1. Keep that in mind. Now let's quickly go over some bag tips. It's important to realize in Vanilla WoW that your inventory space is always going to be limited at some point. Now you want to increase that limit as much as you possibly can and as early as you can in the game. More inventory space equals more gold, and this should be your primary expenditure along with training. Training and bags are the most important things to spend money on in early game before you get your level 40 mount. You want to get enough gold to get your level 40 mount, right? One of the most frustrating things to go through in Classic WoW is to loot a corpse and you notice that your inventory is full. Then you have to throw away things out of your inventory to bring that other piece in your inventory. You're essentially throwing away money on the ground. You want to prioritize getting bags and getting them soon. And you want to make sure you get free bags over anything else. You don't want to spend money on bags, right? Quest rewards, world drops, and even some crafted bags you probably get for a very low cost, especially if it's from a guildie that may give it to you for free. So always prioritize getting your bags for little to no cost. This way you're just increasing your profit capability for free. Now remember, when you replace a bag and it's not soulbound, resell it. If you are getting a bunch of small pouches in your low levels and then you start to get 8-slot bags, resell those 6-slot bags. If no one's buying them in the auction house, resell them to a vendor. It's still money you're getting back. Alright, last thing before we get to the actual bag list. Let's talk about inventory dimensionality. Something that I really recommend doing is forming maps in your inventory space for certain purposes. So if you notice, this is a picture of my actual inventory, and I use an add-on so I can condense all my bags into one bag to make it visually much more easy to see where my stuff is. I recommend doing this in Classic WoW. Of course, that's up to you. It makes things much easier for me. So as you see, I kind of sort things into groups. I always have my Hearthstone in the first slot. Then I have my consumables, like potions that I may use. Then I have, those quest items that you have to have with you, like the notes and the boxes and stuff like that. Right below that, I keep all my vendor trash or stuff I'm probably going to just vendor. And this is gray items or very poor selling reagents. So there are, like leather is a pretty good example. Leather usually doesn't go for a huge profit on the auction house, so I usually just vendor a lot of my leather. So that's in the yellow space there. And then I have a space, a gap, and then I have things that I want to keep. So these are the auctionable stuff. So in the green box are the things that I probably will auction or try to sell. And then I have my bank, which is in white, and that's stuff that I know is going to go right to my bank. Like I stack my wool cloth in there for later. Either I'll sell it in a full stack of 20 or I'll keep it for those quests to increase my reputation. And then after the bank portion, there's just stuff that I keep on me all the time. This is on a warrior, so you'll see I have my one-hander and my shield in there that I can switch to if I want to tank. I have my arrows if I want to pull from a distance. I have my bandages that are just I'm going to use between pulls. And I have my mining pick and my skinning knife. And those things aren't going to move, right? They're going to be in my inventory all the time, so I keep them on the bottom. And this way I know that the middle section is kind of like my flex area where it goes from vendor to keep. And I always do this. I always keep my inventory looking like this so I can find things easily. I do recommend this if you're having trouble keeping your inventory neat and tidy. Now, you don't have to use an add-on. You can designate certain bags to certain things if you're not using the add-on. And please design your own type of inventory dimensionality. This is just the one I use. Alright, on to the bag list. First, we're going to cover world drop bags. These are bags that drop off of many different types of mobs. Now, all the world drop bags are non-unique and non-soulbound, so you can resell them and have multiple versions of them. Also, they are non-faction specific. Both Horde and Alliance can get these bags. Also, disclaimer before we get started. Drop chances, both in world drop and off bosses, are subject to probably have some variation depending on what these numbers are when Classic comes out. So just keep in mind that these drop chances may fluctuate a bit when Classic comes out. And I will try to update drop chances in the slides so you guys can actually have more accurate numbers. First one we're going to cover, and the first one you'll probably see in Classic WoW, are the small pouches. They are 6-slot bags, and they drop off mobs level 1 to 17 with a pretty low drop chance from 0.25 to 4%. They come in 5 color variants as well, so it's pretty flavorful. After that, we have the 8-slot bags called leather bags, and these come in 4 different color variants, and they drop off mobs level 9 to 25 with an even lower drop chance of 0.004 to 0.7%. The next one up is the large sacks. These are 10-slot bags, and they drop off of mobs level 19 to 32 with drop chances very similar to leather bags of 0.004 to 1%. These come in 4 different color variants. Next one up from there is a large knapsack. This is a 12 slot bag, only has one color variant, drops off of mobs level 24 to 49, with a drop chance of 0.003 to 0.7%. Next one, and this is one I always look out for when I'm leveling, is the Journeyman's Backpack. This is a 14 slot bag, drops off of mobs level 39 to 60, has a drop chance of 0.01% to 0.63%. Next we have the Trollhide bag, which is also a 14 slot bag, but this one's a little bit more rare than the Journeyman's Backpack. It drops off of mobs levels 39 to 54, with a drop chance of 0.0025 to 0.13%. Next, we have the Traveler's Backpack, which I'm sure many of you love seeing drop. This is a 16 slot bag with green quality, actually. This is an uncommon quality bag. Has a pretty high drop chance for a high level bag at 0.02 to 1%. And that's because it has pretty high drop chances when you're in high level dungeons. So if you want to farm these, it's the best place to do it. And this can technically drop off of mobs 47 plus. Now the final bag that's a world drop bag is the Pumpkin bag, and this is essentially the same as the Traveler's Backpack, has the same drop chance, drops off the same mobs, but only drops during Hollow's End. So technically any mob that can drop a Traveler's Backpack could drop a Pumpkin bag, but only during the Hollow's End event, which is the Halloween event in Classic WoW. Next, let's go over the boss rare drop bags. These are bags that drop off of one unique NPC, either a boss or a rare spawn, or very few NPCs. Now these are usually all unique, meaning you can only have one of them on you, and they could be non-soulbound or soulbound depending on the drop. Now keep in mind, along with the drop chances for all these bags, the respawn times of the mobs that actually drop them are also subject to change when Classic WoW comes out, so keep an eye out on the slides if you want to see updated values when the game actually launches. First, we'll go over the Nullhide bag. This is non-soulbound and is not technically faction specific, but is in an alliance zone, so good luck if you're Horde trying to get this done. It's an 8 slot bag. It drops from Fenfennel, which is a level 12 rare elite spawn Null in the northwest section of Stone Cairn Lake at 6845. His respawn time is 2.5 hours approximately, and his drop chance to drop the bag is approximately 70%. Next, we have the large rucksack, which is pretty much an oddball because not only is it non-soulbound, but it's also non-unique, meaning you can farm this over and over again. Now, this also is not faction specific, but it's in an alliance zone, so again, Horde, good luck going to Westfall and trying to farm this one. Its capacity is 10 slots and drops off the Faux Reaper 4000, a level 20 rare elite mechanical unit in the farm area near Saldine's farm. Its location is 4535. Its respawn timer is approximately 5.5 hours, and its drop chances are near about 80%. Next, we have the Snakeskin bag, which is non-soulbound and drops off of Lady Anaconda in the Wailing Caverns. This is a 10 slot bag. This technically is not a faction specific bag you can acquire, but Alliance you're going to have to run through a Horde territory to get to this instance. She's level 20 elite and is located in the Wailing Caverns at 2731, and the drop chance for this bag is approximately 33%. Next, we have the Fell Steed saddle bags, which I swear never drop for me at all. These are non-soulbound bags that could potentially drop off the Fell Steeds in the stable area in Shadowfang Keep. These are yellow horses. You'll see them when you go into the courtyard area. They won't attack you unless you attack them. This is a 10 slot bag, and the Fell Steeds are level 19 to 20 elites. They're in Shadowfang Keep around 54-48, and the drop chance for the saddlebags is 29%. Now these horses can hit pretty hard, so make sure you down them quick and mark the targets. Also, these bags are unique, so you can only equip one of them. Alright, moving on to the Murloc Skin Bag. This is a non-soulbound, unique bag that drops off of Gelahast in Blackfathom Deeps. Both factions can have access to this bag, and it's 10 slots. Gelahast is level 26 elite, and he's the Murloc boss in that pool area in Blackfathom Deep where the other Murlocs are. When you kill him, you can actually click on his orb where he stands and get a buff for the rest of the dungeon, so definitely do that. The drop chance is 15%. Well, if you guys are hungry, you can get your hands on a sturdy lunchbox down in Stranglethorn Vale. This is a non-soulbound, non-unique bag that is not faction specific. It's 12 slots, and it drops off of only 2 NPCs. Veraphonix, which is a rare spawn, and a Ventured Company Foreman, which are located on the map. You see the 2 different circles. Red is Veraphonix, and blue are where the Foreman spawn. Now, Veraphonix is level 42 rare elite, and the Foremans are approximately level 42. The respawn time for Veraphonix is pretty long, up to 30 hours. Again, make sure you check back on this guide when Classic launches to see if that changes. And the Venture Company Foremen are kind of walking around in that area, and you can kill them. Now, the drop chances are very low, approximately 1.6% for Veraphonix and 0.5% for the Venture Company Foreman. So if you're trying to farm this bag, good luck. Moving on to the Wayfarer's Knapsack. This is a soulbound bind-on pickup bag and is unique. It's not faction specific. It's 16 slots and it drops off a dungeon NPC named Ribley Screwspigot. He's a 52 to 53 elite that's located in the Grim Guzzler, which is the bar area of Blackrock Depths. You'll notice when you walk in, everyone's yellow to you and you can attack them if you want. He's one of the goblins that's standing around in the bar. You want to be careful because you want to use any AoE type effects because you don't want to aggro the other bar patrons. So you can distance pull him into the beer cake room. You can fight him in there and you shouldn't anger any of the other patrons of the bar. Now, interestingly enough, Ribley is also the goal of a certain quest given by Yuka Screwspigot in Burning Steps. So you can effectively kill two birds with one stone. If you get the quest from Yuka, kill him for the quest, and then loot him, he has a chance of dropping the bag. It's a 30% chance. And this is an uncommon green quality bag. Also, Ribley is involved in this guide 2 more times. He also drops a quiver and an ammo pouch. We'll get to those later. Alright, it's time for the Onyxia Hide Backpack. This is a soulbound, bind-on pickup, non-unique, not faction-specific bag that drops off of Onyxia herself, a level 63 boss. It's 18 slots. She's located in, of course, Onyxia's lair, which is a raid in Dustwallow Marsh. The drop chance is 100%, so she will always drop a bag. You just gotta roll against 39 other people to get it. This is an uncommon, green quality bag. Make sure you work on your Onyxia attunement so you can have access to this bag as early as possible. Another cool thing about the Onyxia Hide Backpack is that it's not unique. You can effectively have as many as you want. That is if you're lucky enough to win more than one. The last rare drop, boss drop, NPC bag we'll be talking about here is the Panther Hide Sack. This is soulbound, bind on pickup, and unique, so you can only have one of them. It's not faction specific. It's 18 slots as well, and it drops off of High Priestess Arlok, a 63 boss in ZG. She's located in the Pen area, which is in the northern part of the map. You'll know you're in the right area because you have to bang a gong to get her to come out, and you'll see a pen area where animals would stay. And this is a raid in Stranglethorn Vale. The drop chance is much lower than Onyxia at 17%, but this is a rare blue quality bag. Now, this raid will not be at launch. You'll have to wait till after BWL, and the next content phase, EG, will be launched, so you can have access to this bag then. Now let's go over the quest reward bags. These bags are unique and soulbound. These are bags you get as a reward or are one of the possible rewards for completing a quest. The first one is the handmade leather bag. This is a horde-specific quest in Dorotar given by Furl Scornbrow, and he is located near Razor Hill on top of a watchtower. This is a 4-slot bag, and it's a reward for completing the quest called Carry Your Weight. Now you have to retrieve 8 canvas scraps, and these can be retrieved by killing either the Tiragard Keep mobs, those Kul Tiras sailors, or you can kill Kolkar centaurs, and the mob levels range from 6 to 9. And the required level to accept this quest is level 4. Now for the Alliance equivalent bag called Old Blanchie's Feed Pouch. This is Alliance specific, is a 4-slot bag, and the quest for this is obtained by Verna Furlbrow in Westfall. As soon as you cross into Westfall from Elwyn Forest across the bridge, you'll notice her there with her husband, and she'll give you the quest called Poor Old Blanchie. Now the quest tasks you with retrieving 8 handful of oats, and those can be picked up around all the farms in Westfall right near where she's standing. They're really easy to do, just you'll see them on the ground, just pick them up. And once you pick up 8, you turn them in, and she'll give you the feed pouch. The required level to pick up this quest is level 9. Next is the Old Money Bag. This is not faction specific, both factions to pick it up in Ratchet. This is a 6-slot bag, and the quest giver in turn in is Wharfmaster Dizzywig, and he is located in the Barrens in Ratchet at 6338. He tasks you with retrieving the Cat's Eye Emerald, which can drop off of the Venture Company mobs in the mine to the north. East of the Sludge Fen, there is a mine. You enter the mine, and around that mine, there are level 14 to 19 Venture Company mobs. You kill them, and they have a chance to drop this emerald. You usually got to kill about at least 20 of them, maybe even 50 of them for this thing to drop. But once it does drop, you can turn it back to him, and he will give you a sack of coins, not the old money bag. Now, in that sack of coins will be the old money bag itself. Required level for this quest is level 13. Alright, the next one we'll cover is Whiz Bang's Gunny Sack. This is Alliance specific and is available via a quest in Darkshore. It is a 6-slot bag. The quest giver, the initial quest giver, is Whiz Bang Crank Toggle. Now, this is a 4-part quest chain. In part 1, you have to collect 6 crawler legs from tide crawlers north and south of Aberdeen and place them into a buzz box, which is Buzzbox 827, which is a computerized machine. And then that will give you a quest for the next part. So each buzz box will become the next quest giver in the chain. In the second part, you have to collect 3 Thresher Eyes from Darkshore Threshers in the deep sea west of Aberdeen and turn that into Buzzbox 411. Then 411 will task you with collecting 6 Moonstalker Fangs from Moonstalkers to the north and south of Aberdeen and place them into Buzzbox 323. Buzzbox 323 will task you with collecting 4 Grizzled Scalps from Grizzled Thistlebears to the south of Aberdeen and place them into Buzzbox 525. Finally, Buzzbox 525 will give you the reward, which is the Gunny Sack. Now, this requires level 7, but if you'll see, this is a 4-part quest chain, and by the end, you're killing mobs level 16 through 19. So by the end of this, you'll get a 6-slot bag. You'll probably be way higher level than level 7. Just keep that in mind. This can be a pain in the butt, but if you want to get in a free bag, this is a way to get one. The next is the jewelry box, which is the biggest pain in the butt quest probably in this whole guide. Maybe not the biggest, but it's a pain in the butt. It is not faction specific. It's picked up in a quest in Ratchet by Meebach Mizzy-Rix. And this is the quest called Blue Leaf Tubers. And this is an RFK quest in Razorfin Crawl. You pick up the quest in Ratchet, you also have to pick up all these other things. You have to pick up the Snufflenose Owner's Manual, the Crate with Holes, and the Snufflenose Command Stick. And when you go to RFK, you'll be able to release this gopher from the crate. And using the command stick, you can tell him to look for tubers. Now, the tubers are located in the greener areas of RFK. I don't know if you guys ever have escorted the NPC, the Goblin NPC, out of RFK, but when you're escorting them out, those are the best places to look for the tubers. So you'll click on the command stick, the gopher will go to a tuber and find one. You have to click it and put it in your inventory. So you have to collect 6 of these blue leaf tubers using this procedure. Once you pick up 6 of them, you'll have to head back to Ratchet, turn them in, and he'll give you a small container of gems. And in this small container of gems will be the jewelry box. And guess what? For all that work, and you're in your mid-level 30s, you get a 6-slot bag. It's completely not worth it, in my opinion. But if you want a free 6-slot bag, here you go. Next is Captain Sanders' Booty Bag. This is actually not faction specific, but it's in Westfall, so Horde, you're going to have a rough time. It is an 8-slot bag. The quest giver is actually a treasure map. It's not a person. And the treasure map is lootable off of murlocs along the coast. And these murlocs can be anywhere between levels 11 through 19. Now, the drop chance is relatively low at approximately 1 to 5%, and this is not shareable. So hopefully you can get it. And the quest is called Captain Sanders' Hidden Treasure. And this is a 4-part treasure hunt type quest, so this could be a lot of fun. So you pick up the treasure map and it'll ask you to find Captain Sanders' footlocker. That's located on the shore in the south around 2648. And the next clue will tell you to find the broken barrel, which is near a farm at 4148. The clue you get from that will tell you to find an old jug to the north near the coast at 4117, and the final one will tell you to go and find the locked chest, which is on a small island in the sea at 2617. Once you get to the chest, you'll open it up and you'll get this Captain Sanders booty bag, in addition to some other interesting stuff as well. Now, this is obtainable at level 10. This is definitely a fun quest for sure. Next, we have the Deviate Hide Pack, which is Horde specific and is obtainable from the Quest Giver Now pack above the Wailing Caverns entrance. This is a 10-slot bag, and he'll ask you to retrieve 20 Deviate Hides, and these can drop off pretty much anything that's skinnable outside or inside the Wailing Caverns dungeon. Raptors, snakes, threshers, wind serpents. This requires level 13. This will require you to probably be in a group, as the mobs who drop the Deviate Hides are all elites. Now, getting to Nowpack can be a little bit tricky. If you look at the entrance of Wailing Cavern, it kind of looks like a skull. The entrance itself is the nose, and there are 2 eye sockets above it. So if you go behind the entrance, there's a mountain you can climb up and get access to the top of the face area, the top of the skull. So if you jump from the top onto the nose, and then jump into one of the eye sockets, you can get into Nowpack and talk to him, and you'll get the quest. Hopefully the images will help you a little bit. There's also a lot of videos online. If you need to find out how to get into it, just check it out on YouTube. Now, this bag must be chosen as the reward. You don't just get it for doing the quest. There are other items you can pick, but if you're really in a need for a bag, this is a 10-slot bag, and at level 13, I wouldn't recommend doing Wailing Caverns at level 13, but you can get it as low as 13. So even if you're level 15, 16, or 17, a 10-slot bag for free is a great reward. Next is the Gunny Sack of the Night Watch. This is a Alliance-specific quest that is obtainable in Darkshire in Duskwood. It is also a 10-slot bag, and the quest giver is Commander Althea Ebenlock, and the quest name is the Night Watch. You'll take the quest from Althea in Darkshire, and she'll task you with 3 things. It's a 3-part quest chain. It's obtainable at level 18, but at the end you'll be killing mobs level 27 to 28, so it might take you a little bit to get this reward. Now, part 1 is to kill 8 skeletal warriors and 6 skeletal mages. They are located to the south of Darkshire in the Tranquil Gardens Cemetery. After you turn that in, she'll task you with killing 15 skeletal fiends and 15 skeletal horrors, which are located in the cemetery north of Raven Hill. And then part 3, she'll tell you to kill 20 plague spreaders, and they are a little bit more north in the same cemetery north of Raven Hill. Again, required levels 18, and this bag must be chosen as a reward. And this quest will also show up 2 more times in this guide because she also can give you a quiver or an ammo pouch. More on that a little bit later. Next bag we'll cover here is the Ooze Covered Bag. This is Alliance specific, is also a 10-slot bag, and is obtainable by the quest giver Sita, who is a dwarf in Menethil Harbor in the wetlands. And she'll give you the quest called Digging Through the Ooze, and she tasks you with retrieving her bag. Now, this drops off of oozes around 4424 south of Dun Modir, and the mobs are level 23 to 26. And your required level to pick up this quest is level 19. Now, you're going to have to kill a lot of these slimes in my experience to get this bag. You may get lucky and get your first kill, but I think on my mage I killed probably close to 50 or 60 until it dropped. It's about a 2 to 10%, somewhere in that range drop rate, so have fun killing these things, but it's really worth it. It's another free 10-slot bag. And you could potentially get this bag even sooner than the Gunny Sack of the Night Watch. So the next one is probably my favorite. This is a really cool quest. The Explorer's Knapsack. This is not faction specific, and it's a 14 slot bag. And you get it by finding Cortello's Riddle. Now this riddle is only obtainable in one of 3 ships off the southern coast of Stranglethorn Vale, south of Booty Bay. There are 3 pirate ships, and this riddle can spawn in the lower deck of any of the 3 ships. When you pick it up, it'll respawn and randomly locate itself in one of the 3 ships again. Now, this starts a 3-part quest chain that sends you all over the place. So when you find the actual riddle, it'll send you to find the Sagi Scroll. Now, spoiler alert here, I'm going to give you the locations of where this goes, but if you don't want to know and you want to be surprised, this is another treasure hunt style quest, and it'll send you. So you've been warned. So the first part, the Sagi Scroll, is located in Swamp of Sorrows underneath a beautiful ornate bridge. It's actually unique. It's the only bridge like that in the whole game at 2348. Underneath the bridge in the water, you'll click on that scroll, and it'll give you the next part of the quest to find the Musty Scroll, which is located in Duskwallow Marsh at 3166. And this cave is protected by raptors, level 39 to 41. So be careful if you're only level 35 trying to do this. Once you go into the cave, you'll notice that the scroll is sitting on a rock. You'll click on it, and it'll tell you to find Cortello's treasure. And this is located in the hinterlands, which is level 40 to 50 zone. At 8147 in the northern part of the map on the eastern coast, you'll find a waterfall. And underneath the waterfall, you'll find a cache that you can click on, and it will have the bag in it as a reward. Now, this is obtainable at level 35, so make sure at least level 35 before you go and find this riddle. And I've also given you the pictures of the locations so you can see what the scrolls look like and where they sit. So take some time to look at it, and really, really enjoy doing this quest. I had a lot of fun doing it myself. Next is the Thaw Pelt Sack. This is not faction specific. It is also a 14 slot bag, and it is given by the Discs of Norgannon. These are at the end of Uldaman, after you kill the last boss Arcadus. In his inner chamber, you'll see these discs. You'll click on them. They'll tell you to talk to the Stone Watcher to the left of the discs. You'll talk to him, he'll go through some RP dialogue, and then he'll task you with bringing the discs back to either the Thunderbluff of your Horde or Ironforge of your Alliance. You'll turn in the quest, and as a reward, you'll be given the Thaw Pelt Sack. But this, again, must be chosen as a reward. There are other rewards instead of the sack. So if you don't need other rewards and you want a free 14 slot bag, there you go. Now, Uldaman is a level range 38 to 46 dungeon, and the minimum level to enter is level 30. So keep that in mind. Now for the final quest reward bag, the Demon Hide Sack. This is by far the hardest one to get. It is a 16 slot bag. It's not faction specific. Now this is a massive quest chain, either 18 parts for the Alliance, 23 part chain for the Horde. It is given by the fallen hero of the Horde, which is located in between the border area between the Swamp of Sorrows and the Blasted Lands. If you're Alliance, the quest chain starts in Netherguard Keep, which they'll tell you to talk to the fallen hero of the Horde, and for Horde, it starts at the fallen hero of the Horde, which will give you a few other quests before the quest chains start to actually converge and be the same type of quest. Now I really suggest doing most of the parts of this quest, if not all of them, with a group of people, because they are pretty hard to do. And the last quest, which will task you with Kill Razlik the Defiler, you'll definitely need a party for, because he's a level 60 elite. Once you are at the last part of the quest chain, you'll go to the Blasted Lands, be teleported up to the top of a mountain via the Ruin of the Defiler, and you'll have to fight Razlik the Defiler and kill him. Now, the required level to start this chain is level 45, but the recommended level is definitely 58 to 60. And this is a 16 slot bag with uncommon green quality. I highly recommend doing this quest chain. There's a whole ton of lore associated with it if you like reading quest texts. It's a lot of fun, and just make sure you get a party with some good people. Now let's move on to the crafted bags, and these are bags that are made by either leatherworkers or tailors. They are of course non-soul bound, so they can be traded and are put on the auction house. They're also all non-unique, so you can have more than one of them. The first one we'll cover is the linen bag, and this bag is crafted by tailors. This is not faction specific, and it is a 6 slot bag. It's obtained via your tailoring or apprentice tailoring trainer for a cost of 1 silver. Now, I'll only mention this once, but remember, anything that costs money from a faction related vendor, like a trainer, is subject to discounts via the reputation system. So if you're friendly, you get a 5% discount, honored a 10% discount, revered a 15% discount, and exalted a 20% discount. So depending on the reputation, these costs can go down. Now, the required level to craft is level 5, and the required tailoring level is level 45, so you can be an apprentice tailor to make these. You also notice the point schemes I put down in different colors. So what these numbers mean is that you can craft this up to level 70, at which point it will turn yellow. You can craft to 87 and it'll be green, and then from 87 to 105 you can get green. At 105 it turns gray and you'll get no points. So if you're not sure how this works, before 70 it's going to be red, and that means you're guaranteed to get a point if you craft it. Between 70 and 87 it'll be yellow, which means you'll likely get a point if you craft it. From 87 to 105 is green, which means you're not likely to get a point if you craft it, and from 105 on, you will not get a point. So just so you know how much of these you can make to get points for your tailoring. I won't mention that again, but these point schemes will be available for any crafted item that I present, unless it's only craftable at max level, which there's no point to put a point scheme because you can only craft it at 300. And the reagents here are 3 bolt of linen cloth, which is a total of 6 linen cloth, and 3 coarse thread. If you have the reagents and you have the proper tailoring, you can craft this bag and you can put it up for sale or use it for yourself. The next bag is the red linen bag. This is very similar to the linen bag. It's also 6 slots, but it's obtained via a pattern, not via your trainer. And this pattern can drop as a world drop off of 3 different NPCs, Defias Looters in Westfall at 2%, Moonrage Tailors in Silverpine Forest at approximately 1.1%, and Pyrewood Tailors in Silverpine Forest as well at 1.1%. But it can also be purchased for 2 silver from 4 different vendors. Andrew Hilbert in Silverpine Forest, Gina McGregor in Westfall, Mahu in Mulgore, and Valdarin in Darkshore. Some of these vendors have infinite stocks them, some of them only have 1, so you may have to catch them if you really want to get this pattern. But in my opinion, linen bags do the same thing, and there's probably other things you can craft to get your points for tailoring. Now the required tailoring level is 70, which means you have to be an apprentice, and the reagents are 4 bolts of linen cloth, 3 coarse threads, and 1 red dye. Next is the Kodo hide bag, which is the only non-quiver or ammo pouch in the game craftable by leatherworkers, so this is kind of unique. It is horde specific also. This is a 6 slot bag. It's obtained via a quest/pattern. So you'll get the quest from Varen Tallstrider in Mulgore in Thunderbluff. She'll task you with the quest called Kodo Hide Bag, and the minimum level requirement to obtain this is level 4. All she does is task you with bringing 4 light leather and 4 coarse thread to her. This is a pretty easy thing to do for a skinner. And then she'll give you the pattern to craft the Kodo Hide Bag. And the required level to craft this is level 5, and leatherworking skill of 40, so you'll have to be an apprentice. And the reagents for this are 3 thin Kodo hides, which you can get off of Kodo and Mulgore, 3 light leather, and 1 coarse thread. Pretty interesting bag, pretty fun. This is the only bag leatherworkers can make. Next we have the woolen bag, which is a tailoring bag and has an 8 slot capacity. And this is obtained via your tailoring trainer or apprentice tailoring trainers for a cost of 2 silver. And the required character level to craft this is level 10 and requires tailoring level 80, so this will require you to be a journeyman tailor. And the reagents are 3 bolts of woolen cloth and 1 fine thread. Next we have the green woolen bag, which is a tailoring bag as well. It is not faction specific and has a capacity of 8 slots. It is obtained via a world drop pattern, and it drops off of mobs level 10 to 29 with a drop chance of anywhere between 0.012 to 0.54%, so pretty low. The required character level to craft is 10, and it requires tailoring level 95, which is also journeyman. The reagents are 4 bolts of woolen cloth, 1 fine thread, and 1 green dye. Now we have another woolen bag. This one's the red woolen bag. Also 8 slots, also obtained via a pattern, which can either be obtained via a world drop off of only 2 different mobs, Defias Renegade Mages in Westfall at a drop rate of 3%, and Hillsbrad Tailors in Hillsbrad Foothills at a drop of around 2%. But it's also purchasable from numerous NPCs, including mostly tailoring supply vendors. The required character level to craft is level 10. It requires tailoring level 115, which is journeyman tailoring. The reagents are 4 bolts of woolen cloth, 1 fine thread, and 1 red dye. Now, an interesting point here is that the Hillsbrad Tailors are green to the Alliance, so they won't be able to kill this, but Horde will. So Horde can obtain this pattern by killing the Hillsbrad Tailor. Now we have the small silk pack, which is a 10 slot capacity bag that is obtained via your trainer, your tailoring trainer, for 8 silver. And this can be learned from tailoring trainers or apprentice tailoring trainers. And the required character level to craft is level 20. It requires tailoring level 150, which is expert tailoring. The reagents are 3 bolts of silk cloth, 2 heavy leather, and 3 fine thread. Now we have the green silk pack, which is also a 10 slot bag, but it's only obtained via pattern from a world drop from mobs level 19 to 41 with a drop chance of approximately 0.004 to 0.3%, very low drop rate. The required character level to craft is level 20. It requires tailoring level 175, which is expert tailoring, and the reagents needed are 4 bolts of silk, 3 heavy leather, 3 fine thread, and 1 green dye. Now for the black silk pack, which is also a 10 slot bag, and this is also obtained via a world drop pattern, but it only drops off of 3 different mobs. A Syndicate Spy in Alterac Mountains at approximately 2%, the Shadowy Assassin in Hillsbrad Foothills at approximately 2%, and Theramore Infiltrators in Dustwall Marsh at about 1%. Now the required character level to craft is level 20, and the required tailoring level is 185, which is expert tailoring. The reagents needed are 5 bolts of silk cloth, 4 fine thread, and 1 black dye. Let's now move on to the Mage Weave bag. This is a 12-slot bag that's obtained via your trainer for a cost of 50 silver, and it's only available from 5 tailoring trainers. 2 for the Horde, 2 for the Alliance, and 1 that's not faction specific, but you'll have to have Timbermaw Hold Rep to just talk to him. So Daryl Stack is in Hillsbrad, Taryn Mill at 6421, that's for the Horde. Giorgio Bolero is in Stormwind at 4374 for the Alliance. Joseph Gregorian in Undercity at 7131 for the Horde. Timothy Worthington, Duskwalla Marsh, and Theramore at 6652, and finally Mylosh, which is a Furlbog located in Timbermaw Hold at 66.3 in Fellwood. So the required level to craft is 35, the required tailoring level is 225 or Artisan, and the reagents are 4 bolts of Mage Weave and 2 Silken Thread. Next is the red Mage Weave bag, which is also a 12-slot bag, is trainable at 65 silver, and is only available from 3 trainers: Daryl Stack at Hillsbrad, Taryn Mill for the Horde, 6421, Mylosh again is not faction specific at Fellwood, in Timbermaw Hold, 66.3, and Timothy Worthington and Duskwalla Marsh for the Alliance, in Theramore, 66.52. Required level of the craft is 35, 235 tailing is required, or Artisan, and the reagents are 4 bolts of Mage Weave, 2 Silken Thread, and 2 red dye. So this might be a good thing to craft once your regular Mage Weave bag maybe goes green. Next we have the Rune Cloth bag, which is a 14-slot bag and is obtained via getting a pattern, which is purchased for 1 gold, 20 silver from one person, Kia, a goblin female in Winter Spring in the city of Everlook at 6137. Now she only carries 1 pattern at a time. I'm not 100% sure on the respawn timer, it's probably an hour or maybe even more than that, so you might have to camp this to get it. The required character level to craft is 35, required tailoring level is 260 or Artisan, and the reagents are 5 bolts of Rune Cloth, 2 rugged leather, and 1 rune thread. Now we're getting into the high-level bags. The Mooncloth bag is a 16-slot bag and is crafted via a pattern, but it's only available from a world drop. And the drop is low at 0.012 to 0.78% and mostly drops off high-level world and dungeon elites and world bosses. So this might be a little hard to get. The required character level is 35, and the required tailoring is max at 300. This is a green quality bag, and also note that Mooncloth can only be crafted once every 92 hours. The reagents are 4 bolts of Runecloth, 1 Mooncloth, and 1 rune thread. Now you can potentially buy the Mooncloth off the auction house instead of making it yourself, but it'll be quite expensive. And finally, the largest craftable bag, the bottomless bag, which is 18 slots, is also trainable via pattern, but only obtainable via a world drop. Drop rate is 0.02 to 0.15%, and this only drops from a very few world elite mobs, raid elites, bosses, and world bosses. So if you get your hands on this, you could potentially make some coin. However, it takes a lot to craft. The required character level to craft is 35, required tailoring level is max at 300, and the reagents are 8 bolts of Runecloth, 12 Mooncloth, 2 large brilliant shards, 2 core leather, and 2 rune thread. So have fun getting this one. The core leather is only obtainable from skinning Magmanar and other core hounds in Molten Core. Also, which I didn't talk about in the previous slide, Mooncloth can only be crafted in a Moonwell. So it'll be a little bit trickier for Horde. Just go to Ashenvale and find a Moonwell and craft them in there. Next are the World Event bags. These bags are only available during a World Event or at a certain phase in the progression of Classic WoW. There are only 2. The first one is the Dark Moon Storage Box. This is a not faction-specific, non-soulbound, unique bag, so you could potentially send it to an alt because it's non-soulbound, or sell it. It has a 14-slot capacity, and the quest in which this bag is obtainable is given by Gelvis Grimegate, who's one of the carnies in the Dark Moon Fair. Now the quest name is 50 Tickets, Dark Moon Storage Box, and the quest location is of course the Dark Moon Fair. Now the quest task is to turn in 50 Dark Moon Fair prize tickets and you get the box. Now tickets can be obtained from turning in various items, which is usually vendor trash at most parts of the year, to the Dark Moon Fair carnies. And these are various different things you can farm. And you don't have to be level 60 to do it. You can probably be in your mid 30s, even low 40s to farm some of these vendor items. So keep a lookout and see what they're actually looking for. Now the required level to actually complete this quest is level 6, and the Dark Moon Fair only happens once per month, but it rotates between Elwyn and Thunder Bluff. The Alliance will have a much easier time getting to Dark Moon Fair one month, and the Horde will have an easier time the next month. It doesn't mean you can't go, but you'll probably be killed, so just keep that in mind. The Dark Moon Fair occurs on the Sunday before the first Monday of each month, so keep that in mind as well. The next bag is the Supply Bag. This is a 18-slot, unique, soulbound, on pickup, non-faction specific bag. It's given by the quest giver, Quartermaster Miranda Breachlock. and the quest name is Superior Armaments of Battle, and this is located at Light's Hope Chapel in Eastern Plaguelands at 8260. Now the quest tasks to turn in X Insignias of the Dawn and X Insignias of the Crusade. Now the reason I have X's here is that the number of turn-ins decreases with the increasing reputation that you have with the Argent Dawn. So if you're friendly, you got to turn in 30 of each. If you're honored, 20 of each. Revered, 7 of each. And exalted, 6 of each. So it gets much easier, a little higher your reputation. Remember, you can get reputation with the Argent Dawn by turning in Scourge Stones from slain undead minions in the Plaguelands or in Stratholme, and even some in Skullman. So make sure you have the trinket with you, which is the Argent Dawn Commission trinket, to acquire these Scourge Stones. Now this bag is only obtainable during the Scourge Invasion, which is the pre-Naxxramas patch, and will also be attainable during Naxxramas, of course. Also, insignias can be obtained via quests, item turn-ins, and writs. And these writs are obtained by turning in Argent Valor tokens, and these Argent Valor tokens are obtained by turning in Scourge Stones. So that flowchart I have on the right there is if you have the Argent Dawn Commission trinket, you'll get Scourge Stones, which will be turned in for Argent Valor tokens, which can be used to increase your reputation or turned back into another NPC for the writs. And if you fulfill the writs, which are task you with bringing them pieces of armor or gear or other items, you can get these insignias. And then once you have enough insignias, you can get a supply bag. That's how this works. Now remember, this bag is unique. You can do this quest over and over again. This is a repeatable quest, but you can only get the bag once. And there are other rewards as well, not just the bag. So this bag must be chosen as a reward if you want it. And just a reminder, the Argent Dawn Commission trinket, which allows you to pick up Scourge Stones, can be picked up from the same NPC that you turn the Scourge Stones in for free. So when you first meet the Argent Dawn, you'll probably run into the quest giver that asks you to turn in the Scourge Stones, and he'll give you a free trinket to do this. Just make sure you have the trinket actually equipped, not just in your inventory. They won't drop unless you have it equipped. Okay, now let's briefly go over the bags you can actually buy for sale from a vendor. I do not recommend buying these. 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to get a better bag for a better price via a player on the auction house or via your guild, or from yourself if you're a tailor. Now, there are only 3 bags you can buy. They're all non-unique and non-soulbound, and you can buy them from general goods, general supply vendors, or even bag vendors. The first one is a brown leather satchel for 25 silver. It's 8 slots. Then you have the heavy brown bag, which is a 10-slot bag for 2 gold. Then you have the huge brown sack for 10 gold. And it's a 12-slot bag. These prices are outrageous. Don't buy them unless you're really, really stuck. Alright, now onto the special bags. These are the Enchanting Bags. They're bags that can be used by enchanters to store their enchanting reagents, dusts, shards, and their enchanting rods. These are all craftable by tailors. First one is the Enchanted Mageweave Pouch. This is a soulbound, on-equip, non-unique, not faction-specific bag. It's 16 slots. And this is obtained via pattern, which is purchased for 60 silver from enchanting supply vendors. The required character level to craft is 35. The required tailoring level is 225, so artisan, and the reagents are 4 bolts of Mageweave, 4 Vision Dust, which is an enchanting reagent, and 2 heavy silken thread. The next one is the Enchanted Runecloth Bag. Also soulbound on equip, non-unique, non-faction specific, and it's a 20-slot enchanting bag. And this is obtained via pattern purchased from Cania in Silithus in the Cenarian Hold at 5240 for 2 gold. And the required character level to craft is 35. The required tailoring level is 275, which is artisan, and the reagents are 5 bolts of Runecloth, 2 Raider Eternal Essences, these are also enchanting reagents, and 2 rune threads. Now I didn't mention this last, but these enchanting reagents are obtained via disenchanting gear or via the auction house. You can't just pick these up off mobs. And last but not least, the Big Bag of Enchantment. This is also soulbound on equip, non-unique, not faction specific, 24-slot enchanting bag, obtained via pattern, which is a boss drop, only off of Magister Calendris in Dire Maul West at a drop chance of 15%. And the required character level to craft this is 35, and the required tailoring level is 300, so max it. The reagents are 6 bolts of Runecloth, 4 large Brilliant Shards, an enchanting reagent, 4 enchanted leather, and 4 Ironweb Spider Silk. Alright, now for the herb bags. These are bags that herbalists can use to store their herbs and flowers that they collect in the world. They are all soulbound on equip and non-unique. So the first one is the herb pouch. This is not faction specific, it's a 12-slot herb bag, and it can be obtained via purchase for 10 silver off any herbalism supply vendor. Really easy to get this one. The next is the Cenarian herb bag. This is a 20-slot herb bag, purchased for 2 gold from a pattern, but it requires friendly reputation with the Cenarian Circle. And this is obtained via Mishta in Silithus' Cenarian Hold at 5036. Now, Cenarian Hold rep can be increased via Cenarian Hold quest, killing Twilight Cultists in Silithus, killing mobs and bosses in AQ20 and AQ40, and turning in Twilight texts, which can be dropped off of mobs in Silithus. Now, an interesting part about this is it probably won't be available at launch on Classic until the AQ patch is open, where you can actually farm Cenarian Circle Rep. I could be wrong about this. Please check this and see if you can actually acquire Cenarian Circle Rep in the beginning of the game. The required character level to craft is 35, the required tailoring level is 275, and the Reagents are 5 bolts of Runecloth, 10 Purple Lotus, 8 Morrow Grain, and 2 Rune Thread. And finally, the biggest one is Satchel of Cenarius, a 24-slot herb bag purchased for 5 gold from the same vendor, and this requires revered reputation with the Cenarian Circle. The required character level to craft is 35, required tailoring is 300, so max, and the Reagents are 6 bolts of Runecloth, 2 Mooncloth, again, those are hard to get, 1 Black Lotus, which is also very hard to get, especially because the spawn points will probably be mapped by people who are extreme gold farmers, so have fun trying to get this Black Lotus. You can also buy them on the auction house in later parts of the game. We don't know if they'll be BOP or BOE in the beginning of Classic, but just see if you can buy them. If not, have fun trying to farm one. And 4 Iron Web Spider Silk. Let's move on now to the soul bags. These are bags that warlocks can equip only, and they are used to store their soul shards that they produce when using their Drain Soul ability. Now these are all soulbound, either bind on pickup or bind on equip, depending on if they're crafted or not. The crafted ones are bind on equip, the non-crafted ones are bind on pickup. The first one is a small soul pouch, and this is obtained via a class quest, a warlock class quest, which starts your warlock trainers at level 20. This is a 12-slot soul bag. Quest locations are either in Undercity via Caradin Halgar at 8526, Orgrimmar from Ganrul Blood Eye in 4845, or in Stormwind at Gannic the Darkbinder at 2579. Each of these quests are going to be a little bit different, so I won't go over each of them, but they basically task you with obtaining items, and when you turn in the last item, you'll have to subdue the Summoned Succubus, in which to subdue the Summoned Succubus, you'll actually get the Succubus and the Soul Pouch. This is a 2-part reward here, and the required level for this is level 20, and it's an uncommon green quality pouch. Next, we have the Box of Souls. Very similar to the last one, but this is 16 slots, and you'll get it at level 30 from your Warlock Trainer. He'll task you with going to see Strawhide Farson, which is a NPC in Ratchet in the Barrens at 6336. This is the second part of the Binding quest at level 30, and this is also a 5-part quest chain, which will acquire various items from around the world. And when you turn the quest into Farson, he will summon a Fell Hunter. You'll have to subdue it, and at level 30, you'll get the Box of Souls. It's a green uncommon quality bag, and you'll get the Summon Fell Hunter spell. Now the rest of the soul bags are crafted. This is a 20-slot soul bag, and it's obtained via a purchased pattern for 1 gold, 20 silver. There's no rep required from VizClick in Tanaris in Gadgeton at 5127. The required character level to craft is 35. The required tailoring level is 260, or Artisan. It's a green uncommon quality bag, and the reagents are 6 bolts of Runecloth, 4 Ragged Leather, 2 Ichor of Undeath, and 1 Rune Thread. Next is the Fell Cloth bag, which is actually a blue or rare quality bag, 24 slot, and is obtained via a world drop. Now this is obtained via a unique mechanism. When you kill a boss NPC in Stratholme named Jandis Barov, she will drop a journal. If you have tailoring level 285 and you click on the journal, you will automatically learn this pattern. You don't have to actually pick up the pattern and click it, you learn it from the spellbook. She is located in the lowest level of Scholomance. The required character level to craft this is 35, the required tailoring level is 285, and the reagents are 12 Fell Cloth, 6 Enchanted Leather, 2 Dark Runes, and 4 Iron Web Spider Silk. Now the last of the soul bags, the Core Fell Cloth bag, a 28-slot soul bag, obtained via a world drop, which is a pattern that's lootable off of bosses in Molten Core with a low drop chance of about 1%. It also drops off of Lord Kazakh, so this might be a little hard to get. The required character level to craft is 35, it requires max tailoring 300, and the reagents are 20 Fell Cloth, 16 Core Leather, 8 Bloodvine, 4 Essence of Fire, and 4 Iron Web Spider Silk. Okay, now to the ammo pouches. Technically these can be equipped by any class, but they really benefit hunters, and these only can carry bullets or shot that can be used in a gun. First, we have the small ammo pouch, which is a non-soulbound, non-unique, but remember, you can only equip one of them, non-faction specific ammo pouch with a 6-slot capacity, and it increases range attack speed by 10%. This is obtained via multiple sources. Dwarf and Tauren hunters start with this pouch, so you don't have to buy it, but it can be purchased for only 4 copper from Burkham, for the Horde and Action Vale and Splinter Tree Post, or for both factions by Mazg, Snipe Shot, and Stranglethorn Vale and Booty Bay at 29.75. The next one is craftable, the small leather ammo pouch, 8 slots, increases range attack speed by 10%, non-soulbound, non-unique. Obtained via your trainer for 1 silver from journeyman leatherworking trainers. The required character level to craft is level 5. The required leatherworking level is 30 or apprentice, and the reagents are 3 light leather and 4 coarse thread. Next is the small shot pouch, a non-soulbound, non-unique, non-faction specific 8 shot capacity pouch. Range attack speed is increased by 10%. Is obtained via purchase for 10 silver from gunsmiths, guns and ammo merchants, and gun merchants. Also, some bowyers and weaponsmiths might also carry it. Now, I would buy a small ammo pouch instead from a player that's crafted by the AH. It usually will be a lot cheaper than this, but it may not be. So if you find it's less to buy from the vendor, just buy it from the vendor for 10 silver. Next is the medium shot pouch, which is very similar to the last one, but it's 10 slots, increases attack speed by 10% as well, and it's also obtained via purchase from Burkham and Ashenvale at Splinter Tree Post at 74.60, or again from Masked Snipe Shot and Stranglethorn Vale and Booty Bay at 29.75. Now, interestingly, this is also 10 silver, so if you actually can make your way to Ashenvale or Booty Bay, you can get a much better bag with 2 more slots for the same price as the small shot pouch. Now, you can also get the hunting ammo pouch. This is only available to Alliance. This is soulbound on pickup. It's a 10-slot ammo pouch that increases range attack speed by 10%, but it's only obtained via group quest. We went over this quest before. This is the quest to kill Old Sooty. This is one of the possible rewards of that quest, is this ammo pouch. So if you're a hunter using a gun, you may want to choose this reward, and the required level for this quest is level 15. The next one is the Bandolier of the Night's Watch. This is a 12-slot, Alliance-only, soulbound, range attack speed increased by 11% pouch. It is obtained via quest. We went over this one already. This is the one from Commander Althea Ebenlock in Darkshire. Remember, you can also get the Gunny Sack of the Night's Watch, but if you're a hunter and you want to use a gun, this might be the reward you want. It's a really nice pouch. It requires level 18 to complete, and is a green, uncommon quality bag. The next one up is the Heavy Leather Ammo Pouch. This is crafted by leatherworkers. It's non-soulbound, non-unique, is a 14-slot capacity, and increases range attack speed by 12%. And this can be obtained via your leatherworking trainer. Only 2 leatherworking trainers can train it for 20 silver. Felonus and Darnassus for Alliance at 64.22, and Yuna and Thunderbluff for the Horde at 42.43. The required character level to use this is level 30, so this has a level requirement, and the required character level to craft is level 20, so you have to be an expert, and the required level is 150. The reagents are 8 heavy leather and 2 fine thread. The next one is also crafted. This is the Thick Leather Ammo Pouch. Is a non-soulbound, non-unique, non-faction specific bag, 16-slot capacity. Range attack speed is increased by 13%. It's obtained via your leatherworking trainer from 40 silver. There are only 3 leatherworking trainers that train it: Carissa, Moonhunter, and Feralis at 89.47, and Thalinar for the Alliance. Drac Stonehand and the Hinterlands at 13.44, and Airy Peak in Wildhammer Stronghold, also for the Alliance, and Harana Ironhide and Feralis at 74.43 at Camp Mohashi for the Horde. The required character level to use this pouch is level 40. The required character level to craft it is level 35, so you have to be an artisan, and the required leatherworking level is 225. The reagents are 10 thick leather, 1 cured hide, 1 elixir of greater defense, and 6 silken thread. Next, we have Ribley's Bandolier. And if you remember this guy from the previous one, he also drops a bag. He also drops a ammo pouch. This is a soulbound on pickup unique, non-faction specific 16-slot ammo pouch. It increases range attack speed by 14%. And it drops off of Ribley's Screw Spigot at level 52 to 53 elite, in Blackrock Depths in the Gridden Guzzler, 16% drop chance. And the required level to use this is level 50. And this is a green, uncommon quality bag. And the final one is the Knoll Skin Bandolier. It's a soulbound, on pickup, unique, non-faction specific 16-slot capacity ammo pouch, which increases range attack speed by 15%. And this can be purchased for 35 gold from 4 different NPCs. Either Jekyll Flandring in Alterac Mountains in the Frostwolf staging area right as you go into AV when you enter AV in Alterac Mountains, and that's for the Horde. You can also buy it in the actual BG from Grunda Wolfheart at 49.83 for the Horde. And then for the Alliance, you have Thenthalus Snowgleam, which is also in Alterac Mountains right outside AV Portal and Stormpike area at 40.82, and Galdine Hammersmith in the actual AV BG at 44.18. The required level to equip this is level 55, and you don't have to actually win an AV, you just go in and buy it. It is a blue, rare quality pouch, and it will be available when AV actually launches. We don't know when that will be yet, but when AV launches, this should be available. Alright guys, you stuck with me for a long time here. We're on the last segment. These are the Quivers. These are equipable by any class, but really benefit the hunters, and they increased range attack speed with bows by X% and can only hold arrows. Let's move on to the first one, the Light Quiver. The Light Quiver is a non-soulbound, non-unique, non-faction specific quiver, has a 6-slot capacity, and increases increases range attack speed by 10%, and is obtained in multiple ways. Night Elf, Orc, and Troll Hunters all start with this quiver, but if you aren't one of those and you want to buy it, it's for 4 copper. You can buy it from Benjaya Fender in Undercity for the Horde at 59.33, and there are 3 Alliance NPCs. Marta Weller in Stormwind at 57.57, Thalgus Thunderfist in Ironforge at 62.89, and Nayla Trance in the Wetlands and Menethil Harbor at 11.58. Moving on to the light leather quiver, which is crafted by leatherworkers. This is a non-soulbound, non-unique, non-faction specific quiver, which has an 8 slot capacity, increases range attack speed by 10%. This is obtained via your trainer for 1 silver from journeyman leatherworking trainers. And the required character level to craft is level 5, so apprentice. The required leatherworking level is 30, and the reagents are 4 light leather and 2 coarse thread. Next is the small quiver, which is non-soulbound, non-unique, and non-faction specific. It has 8 slot capacity, increases range attack speed by 10%. This is obtained via a purchase for 1 silver from bowyers, bow and gun merchants, and weapon merchants. After that, you can purchase the medium quiver, which is also non-soulbound and non-unique, has a 10 slot capacity, and increases range attack speed by 10% as well. It is obtained via bowyers, bow and gun merchants, and weapon merchants, and it is a required level of 10 to equip. Next is the hunting quiver, which is also a quest reward that you can choose from that quest to kill Old Sudi. Again, it's an alliance specific quest in Loch Modan. This is that group quest. We covered this before. It has a 10 slot capacity and increases range attack speed by 10%. The required level to start this quest is level 15. Again, this must be chosen as a reward if you want it. Next is the Quiver of the Night Watch. This is also an alliance-specific quest. We covered this already. This is an old favorite by now. 12 slot capacity, increases attack speed by 11%, and it's the quest by Althea Evanlock in Darkshire. The required level to start is level 18. If you want this quiver, you must choose it as a reward. It has a green uncommon quality. Next, we have a purchasable quiver called the Small Quiver. Non-soulbound, non-unique, not faction-specific, has a 14 slot capacity, and has a range attack speed of 12%. It's obtained via purchase for 20 silver from 3 different vendors. Benjaya Fenner in Undercity at 59.33 for the Horde, Marta Weller in Stormwind at 57.57 for the Alliance, and Thalgus Thunderfist in Ironforge for the Alliance as well at 62.89. The required level to equip is level 30, and it's a green uncommon quality quiver. Next is the Quick Draw Quiver, which is craftable by leatherworkers, a non-soulbound, non-unique, non-faction-specific quiver, 16 slot capacity, increases attack speed by 13%, is obtainable via your leatherworking trainer for 40 silver. And there's only 3 leatherworking trainers that can actually train it. Carissa Moonhunter and Feralis at 89.47 in Thalinar, Drax Stonehand in Hinterland at 13.44, Airy Peak in Wildhammer Stronghold, and Harana Ironhide in Feralis at 74.43 in Camp Mohashi. The required character level to equip is level 40, the required character level to craft is level 35, and the required leatherworking level is 225, which is Artisan. The reagents are 12 thick leather, 1 cured thick hide, 1 elixir of agility, and 4 silken thread. Next, we have our man Ribley dropping another piece for us as he's dropping his quiver this time. 16 slot, increases range attack speed by 14%, and is obtained if you kill him. He has a 16% chance to drop his quiver. The required level to equip is level 50. Remember, he's in BRD and the Grim Guzzler, and is an uncommon green quality quiver. Almost there, guys. 2 more. Next is the Harpy Hide Quiver. Soulbound, on pickup, unique, non-faction specific quiver with a 16 slot capacity and range attack speed of 15%. This is also purchasable by the AV vendors, either within or outside AV in Alterac Mountains for 35 gold. The required level to equip is level 55. Remember, this is a blue rare quality and should only be available when Alterac Valley launches. Last one, the Ancient Sinew Wrapped Lamina. This is soulbound, on pickup, unique only to hunters, only they can equip it. It's not faction specific, and it has an 18 slot capacity and increases speed by 15%. This is only obtainable via a quest. You have to acquire the Ancient Petrified Leaf, which can drop in the Major Domo chest after the encounter of Major Domo Executus in Molten Core. If you're lucky enough to get the leaf, you put it in your inventory, and if you go to Fellwood, in that area where the Iron Tree Woods are, you'll see those 3 petrified trees. If you have the Ancient Leaf in your inventory, their spirits will be visible. You can talk to all 3 of them, and all 3 of them will give you a different quest. 1 for Rockdalar, 1 for Lockdalar, and 1 for the Ancient Sinew Wrapped Lamina. Now, the person who gives it to you is Hastat. He's the Ancient that gives it to you the actual quest, and he tells you to loot a mature blue dragon sinew, and this has a very low drop chance of approximately 0.01%. It can drop off of level 55 to 58 elite blue dragons south of Everlook in Winter Spring. It also has a much higher chance to drop off Azure Ghost, but as you know, it's going to be very competitive to kill Azure Ghost. He's a world boss, so you're definitely going to be at the level of 60 to do this. It is a epic quality quiver. It's the only epic quality quiver or ammo pouch in the game, so good luck getting this one. Guys, we made it. We covered every equipable bag, ammo pouch, quiver, whatever you can put in your inventory slot. I hope you enjoyed this. It took a long time to make this. I figured this would be a really good guide to come back and resource. Use the timestamps in the description. Go to the bag you want to get, and hopefully this really helps you get those bags. And I want to thank VX Cosmos for giving me the idea to make this guide. Thanks a lot, buddy. So if you like this type of content, please leave a like below. If you enjoy the videos we make, consider subscribing because we have a lot more guides coming, and we do a lot of other different types of content, including DefTalk, which is our podcast, which is listenable via Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and iTunes. We also upload it to YouTube. We're on Discord, we're on Twitter, follow us on there, we have a very active community. And this guide, including many other guides made by people like you and by their content creators, will be uploaded to ClassicWow.live. Make sure to check us out over there at ClassicWow.live. Links to all these things will be in the description, and don't forget timestamps and links to the actual slides will be available via a pinned comment below. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my patrons for helping us making better content, making higher quality content. If it wasn't for you guys, this channel would not be where it's at, and we are very thankful for your contributions. If you want to become a patron, there will be a link in the description, and will also be accessible via a clickable link at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on keybinding and grinding. We hope to see you in Classic Azeroth come summer 2019, and stay tuned for more. Greetings, adventurers. Melderon here. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you'd like to sport some official Def Camp Melderon t-shirts and hoodies, head on over to Brandung Media's Def Camp Melderon TV merchandise website. The link is in the description below.